What do we mean by disorder? How do you look at it? What do we mean by disorder? Contradiction, out of which arises conflict, contradiction between the various fragments which make up the me, the I, the ego, the contradictory and opposing desires, the good and the bad, what should be and what is. This dualistic existence is the source of disorder, with all its innumerable contradictions and oppositions, resistance. Does this convey anything or nothing at all? Wouldn't you say disorder must exist as long as there is conflict, struggle, resistance, conformity, imitation? Which all breed disorder. Right? Seems so. And whether the mind can ever be free, not what to be or not to be, but free from disorder, which means conflict. I don't know what you all say. Let's talk it over together. We have accepted conflict as a way of life, both inwardly and outwardly, psychologically, socially, and in every way. The devil, and all the rest of the division that goes on within us. The division between the conscious and the unconscious. This nationalistic division, racial, class, religious separation, division between of ideas, ideals, principles,
If one is free of inner conflict, it seems to me, when it comes to in conflict with society as it is, it increases the conflict.
I wonder. The question is, Dr. Weininger is asking if you may be free from inward disorder and know and have some kind of free order, if we can use it. Would you not be in conflict with society still? Would you?
Well, wouldn't it be that you'd still have comparison and conflict to deal with in the world at large, but if you had an inner order, you'd be more at peace You wouldn't really be caught up in the conflict. You deal with it without being a part of it, it would seem.
So unless we experiment and test it, mere speculative thinking has very little importance. I mean, why does this division exist first, which invariably, apparently, creates conflict? The nationalistic division, the racial division, so division, separation. And one can see this separation exists because one wants security. My country, my God, my belief, my principle, my ideal, and yours, and so on, so on. In those, we take shelter. Whether it is neurotic belief or rational belief are the same. In that we take shelter. And that very shelter destroys us. If you take shelter in nationalism, that very, the rest, I don't have to explain all this, is too obvious. Right? So can the mind be free of this division? And therefore order. Division is disorder. Moment one says one is a Hindu or a German or communist, it's separation, therefore disorder. And is there such division in us? And if there is that division, which is obvious one has, what is one to do? Because, look, one can everlastingly bring about order. Clean the room everlastingly, the house, back and forth, back and forth. Put the dirt under the carpet or outside the window, but keep on for the next 40 years bringing about order. By then one is dead or incapable or one is gaga. So, but yet there must be certain order, like cleanliness, all the rest, order, which brings about its own discipline. Right? I mean, this is. And what's the point of such order? You understand what I'm. What's the point of having first class order within oneself? Not imposed, not through determination to have order, not through will, which is a form of resistance, not through condemnation or justification. Having intelligently, sanely, rationally brought about order, which is absolutely essential. Otherwise, I can't see clearly. The mind is blurred, how can it observe? If the mind thinks in terms of Hinduism or Buddhism or whatever it is, How can it observe? How can it look? How can it think straight? So obviously, order is absolute imperative necessity, which apparently the world is now denying. That revolt is merely another form of reaction which will bring about its own conformity. Long hair, short hair, or no hair, or whatever it is. Now, if one has such order, and that is absolutely necessary, then what? Will the mind stop seeking? Please, do let's go on with this, don't just because the very search for truth, God, or transcendental something, the very search is a projection of one's own desire. No? And a contradiction to what is. Seeking is to find. To seek is to find. No? No, sir? And what you find, how will you know that it is the truth? What you find must be in the pattern of the known. Therefore, it is nothing new, nothing fresh, nothing, living, but it's only a projection of the past. I don't know if you agree, if you see all this. So, having brought about order, if you have done it, I mean, if you do it, sirs, and you will see the fun of it. If you have done it, and you proceed, having established order, therefore, a living quality in it, not a determined quality within a certain pattern. A designed order, therefore breakable. I don't know if you're following all this. And then the mind is no longer seeking, saying, I must find, or I must give significance to order. Right? Which again becomes an intellectual feat, trick. Therefore, we gave meaning to life because we are seeking God, truth. And if we understand the whole nature of seeking and do not seek, which doesn't mean go to sleep, then what is the meaning of order? What? All right, I have order. Then what? I don't know if you're following on me. There are thousands of people all over the world who say nationalism is absurd, have wiped it away. Believing in some peculiar God of my own or your own is too absurd, and also wiped away. And They have no racial prejudices and all that. But they still have fear, deep down, fear. Fear of death, fear of destruction, fear. And even if one goes beyond it, and one can, and one must, then what? I don't know if you're following all. Is order the whole substance of life? Order in which there is no jealousy, no hate, kindliness, gentleness, consideration, politeness, tenderness, understanding of pleasure and pain, and therefore the meaning of love, in which there is pleasure is not love, desire is not love. And the mind stops seeking because it is understood the trick it has played upon itself when it is seeking. All religions have maintained seek, search out, inquire, experience, realize. And we are saying completely something contradictory to all that. Because when there is a seeking, there is always a seeker. Obviously. No? So there is a duality which breeds conflict.